volunteer for duty. And they said, okay, don't move, we'll be right there. They came down, we signed the paper, and as those of you who have served know, in good government military time, by the time the paperwork was done, the war was over. So the recruiter called me and said, well, what do you want to do now? And I said, well, hopefully we'll never have any more conflicts, but I'll come in anyway and be prepared should we have to go to war again. So I was mobilized 3 times, the last time in '08 to Iraq. And that's where Memorial Day took on a special meaning for me. I was running the emergency services section of a combat support hospital. Been in country about a month. We had some minor injuries come in, but nothing too serious. Then one day the radio crackles and we hear the helicopter call in saying that they're coming in with a Marine that's been shot. So we all get ready to, just as we would do here in a trauma center, get ready to receive that patient. About 2 minutes out, the radio crackles again. It's the helicopter, the medic saying, we've lost him. We're in 2 minutes. Place falls deathly quiet, all thinking about what we're going to do. We offload him from the helicopter, get him into the trauma bay, zip off his clothing. I see 1 gunshot wound to his chest, literally just millimeters from his ceramic plate. On the table looking up at me was this Marine's Marine. He looked like a recruiting poster. Steel blue eyes, chiseled jaw, close-cropped blonde hair, muscled physique covered in grime, but lifeless. We worked him for 30 minutes, doing things that would be considered heroic here in the States to try to bring him back, but we were unsuccessful. So after we ended, within a matter of minutes, my charge nurse, a 30-year Army nurse, comes in with a bucket of warm water and soap and starts sponging down the body, getting off the blood, the grime. When she was done, 2 of my medics come in with a U.S. flag. I don't know where they got it. Might have came off the flagpole out in front of the hospital. And they gently cover the body, and they take up a position of parade rest at the foot of the bed. And they stood there. And they stood there. And they stood there for 4 hours. I kept going in. Guys, you need a break. What are you doing? Their answer was, sir, never leave a fallen comrade. They stood there for 4 hours until graves registrations came to pick up the remains. It was that experience that encapsulated what Memorial Day is all about in my brain and in my heart. I'll remember that name till the day I die, Lance Corporal Drew Weaver from St. Charles, Missouri. And I think it's because of Lance Corporal Weaver, the 7 Nevadans who we've lost in this last year, and all of those soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, and Coast Guardsmen who have given the ultimate sacrifice over time for us to enjoy the freedoms that allow us to gather here today is what symbolizes Memorial Day. They all belong to they share a special heritage. They rose against seemingly impossible odds to do extraordinary things. They left the safety of their sovereign soil to go and defeat terror and oppression, to stop despots and dictators, to ease suffering and despair, and to fulfill the promise of safety and security, not just for our own citizens, but for the global community. And in doing so, they didn't commit their lives to conflict or to death, but to compassion and to life. The graves around us at Arlington and at cemeteries around the world serve to remind us that freedom isn't free. It has a cost. And I can't talk about that cost without also asking you to remember our Gold Star families who stood strong through adversity, whose resilience, dedication, and commitment to their own hero continues to shine as a beacon through the darkness for the rest of us. We will never truly know the depths of their pain, but we should all share in their grief. So, on this day, I ask that you remember and honor those like Lance Corporal Weaver, 7 Nevada sons, and all those who stood shoulder to shoulder to defeat terror and oppression and carry freedom's torch to foreign lands. Because it's through recognizing their service that the eternal light of our nation's gratitude will shine on. May God bless and keep safe our men and women in uniform. May He continue to bless their families, our survivors, and our veterans. And may He bless the great United States of America. Thank you.
Thank you, Congressman Heck. Boulder City has long been a staunch supporter of our veterans. It is the home of this beautiful cemetery, and is also the home of the Southern Nevada State Veterans Home. Boulder City has ensured that veterans are well remembered by constructing a veteran memorial park and several other memorials throughout the city, including naming streets after veterans. At this time, it gives me great pleasure to introduce the Mayor of Boulder City, Mr. Roger Tubler.
Well, it's an honor to be here. I have to admit, it's kind of difficult and a little scary to get up after our esteemed public servants behind me come up and give so many wonderful stories. There's not a whole lot more I can add to that, except my gratitude to the veterans of this country and those that are now serving, and especially those that have paid the ultimate sacrifice for all of us. I do have one quote I'd like to share, and this is from Abraham Lincoln. It says, "A nation that does not honor its heroes will not long endure." And that's why we're here today, to honor our heroes of this country. And this morning at another memorial ceremony that was put on by the American Legion, I ran into an old friend who had lived in Boulder City for many years, and I was his son's, one of his youth church leaders. And I knew he had been serving for many years, and he is now in the Special Forces. And I just kind of asked a little bit about him. I knew he was married and he had a family. He is now serving somewhere in South America. The family's not sure where he's at. And I thought, wow, what a difficult thing. And then he went on to tell me that his son's going to miss his daughter's graduation. And I've had two of my kids now go through and graduate, and what a cherished moment that is. And I thought, man, what a sacrifice for this young man to put aside many of those cherished moments that he could have had with his family in order to serve this country. And I think that says a lot about that young man. Fortunately, he has not paid the ultimate sacrifice, and hopefully he will be kept safe. But it just really touches me, all the people that have done so much for this country. And I think one of the best things about being mayor in Boulder City is that I'm able to attend some of these ceremonies and hear about your stories and meet many of the veterans. We're so grateful that we have the Veterans Home here in Boulder City, that we're able to serve them and to honor them here in our town. Yesterday, as I drove by and saw the flags, it really touched me. I felt a deep sense of gratitude for those that were laying here. And we are truly grateful to all of you. And just to add that I hope and pray that God will continue to bless our servicemen throughout this world and those that are serving in harm's way, and also continue to bless those families that have those men and women out there. So thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Tobler. If we have any members of the Boulder City Council, if they would please stand at this time to be recognized. Doesn't look like any. Council members. Strickland. Where is he at? Or she? Okay, they're outside. Okay, at this time, the Deputy Executive Director of Office of Veteran Service for the state of Nevada, Carol Turner. I would like to recognize some other distinguished guests: Henderson Councilwoman Jerry Schroeder, Mrs. Marie Andrews, Associate Director, VA Southern Nevada Healthcare System. Thank you for attending. Today we are here to honor our fallen veterans, and I would like to take this time to recognize a few of America's heroes that we have with us from the Nevada State Veterans Home. We are proud you have each of you with us today and salute you for your service and dedication to our nation. Would you please stand? Thank you. We also have a large number of veterans with us today, and we would like to recognize each of you. And thank you for your service to a grateful nation. First, let us remember those veterans who gave their lives in all other conflicts and wars, beginning with the American Revolution to end in World War II, or I. The last American doughboy, Mr. Frank Woodruff Buckles, was laid to rest at Arlington National Cemetery on the 15th of March 2011. Now, would World War II veterans please stand to be recognized? Thank you. Thank you for your service. Good job. We thank you for your service. Would the Korean War veterans please stand? There you go. Thank you, sir. Thank you so very much for your service. And now, for those who fought in the war I did, Vietnam War veterans, please stand. Thank you for your service. Would the Gulf War veterans please stand to be recognized? We thank you for your service. Would the War on Terrorism veterans please stand to be recognized? And for those veterans who have served in Iraq and Afghanistan, please stand to be recognized. Thank you, ma'am. At this time, I see that we have some active duty personnel here. Please stand and be recognized. Thank you.